but you understand what you're saying, right? You're saying the men that you encounter, and I'm willing to argue that the men that you find attractive and that you encounter 9 times out of 10, the other women in your circle will also find attractive. So when you encounter a man and you know, like, man, I could definitely fuck with that man. He knows in his mind that that when you say I want him, there's other women that also in your circle that want him. Those are the men that y'all talking about. You're not thinking about the man that you walked past down the street that you didn't give a shit about. You ain't thinking about the man that you walked past who worked as the greeter at Walmart. You didn't walk past him and say, "Oh my God, I could definitely give that man a chance." You didn't run into him because if you would have talked to him, he would have told you. Like if he walked up to you and say, "Hey, Miss Aisha, I would really love to take you out on a date," and you sat there and you he was like, and you was like, "Yeah," and you showed him a good woman, he would not be sitting there talking about, "So if I can't get you, another one will." Y'all don't see men. Y'all see that man.
If he get you Aisha, that nigga that greeting, excuse my language. If the guy that's greeting him at Walmart gets you, the next thing
he's about to sit here and be like, "Man, I could get another chicken. I could find another you." Like
that's a Beyonce song. That's y'all thing. The man gonna say, "Mama, I made it." That's what he gonna say. "Mama, I made it."
What a mirror. And that's the whole thing. Like females really don't understand that from a man's perspective. Like 80% of men are invisible. Most men do not have access to most women, right? If we even talk about the 80-20 rule, we know that is roughly 20% of men that's creating 80% of the babies. If we think about that, it's like, well, damn. You have to understand that all these women are giving the same guys a chance, right? Those dudes that you like, those dudes that you notice, those dudes that you could actually see when you walk by. Yeah, of course you're going to be an asshole. Oh, you know why? Because he got it like that. Because all your homegirls want him too. Y'all competing for that guy or waiting for him to come around to you or whatever, but the desire is there. And the problem is all those dudes that you looked over because of some type of ick he activated or something silly, or maybe he was too short, or maybe you didn't like, that shirt he had on, or, his hairline might be receding a little bit. But guess what? That dude would have been a great husband. He would have been a great father to your children and all that. But y'all said F him because he didn't provide you with something superficial. And that's crazy.
Okay,
Hey, I gotta let Amira go.
Yeah, she been.
Oh, go ahead, Amira.
Cause she been waving and
I've been trying. No, I wanted to respond a little bit to you guys because they made a really good point, Aisha. They made such a good point, and I know you started understanding it more that they started explaining it. You started understanding it, but the thing I wanted to point out was that when they were talking, I was thinking about how all the women are like, "Oh, I don't want to be single. I want to find this man." And I was thinking, as the men were talking, that the majority of women, they don't have a reason to be single. If if it were true that women actually saw men, as Trev says, women don't see men. They just, men are invisible. They walk past them unless they have something shiny, something fast, or something rich. They don't see them. They just walk right past them. And the other thing is that that's why so many women believe that they have so many options. And the truth is, you have options for sex, but you don't have options for marriage, because even though women, just like Aisha said, oh, when I go outside, so many men will talk to me and try to get me. Yeah, they'll try to get you, but they're not really, the majority of them aren't trying to marry you and see you decently. The majority are just talking to you because maybe they see you're cute, or to say, oh, I think she's cute, I want to do stuff with her, but I'm not gonna. Keep her. And I think that's why a lot of women, when they treat men so disposably, is because they think, I can throw this one away and I just walk outside and another guy is trying to holler at me. But that guy is not going to marry you. He's not going to take care of you.
That's,
So
oh, go ahead.
that's exactly what my question was. If it's so many marriageable wives, then why are you single? If you're such a wife, why can't you find a husband? Because I'm saying that you believe, Aisha's perspective, you believe that men think that they have more options than they do. When that isn't even a problem. That's not even a probability to say that it's true, because the person that is hunting knows how many options are available to them. Now, the person that is getting hunted, you don't know how many. You recognize the ones that are coming after you, right? And so most men know, like what Sweeney's saying, who they can approach and who they can't. And when I think somebody had said this, the current thing is that women believe that they deserve a particular man that they really don't qualify for. For example, I would beg to differ that the majority of the women, of course, as Ricky says, there's nobody on the panel, believe that they deserve a man that makes money. They deserve a man that is already well put together, which means that he has money. They believe that he should already have the car, the things, the nice things that he's supposed to have already. They're not looking to be what God says you're supposed to be, is to be a helper. And you are to be a helper to get him to where he is supposed to be. And Proverbs 31:10 even says that it's hard to find a wife because she's more precious than rubies. And one of the things that women think that they are is a ruby but they're not. Because if you're a wife, then you would see men.
but that's why fathers are important, humble dad, because the father is the one who tells the girl, this man's is not wanting you. He wanna That's it. I'm not gonna say the words, but then the father is the one, and that's why I said father is so important, because in my case, we get married, and like we were talking, Aisha and Ty yesterday, we were talking about the mahar, and I told you that virgin women they can ask for anything for marriage. You know, and during marriage, you can ask for 50 gold bars, and you'll get that. If you're not a virgin, you can ask for 50 gold bars, but you might get 50 quarters.
Right.
So you don't, it just, you know, because of that. And that's why I think it's important, because the men are the ones who give the value to the women's. The women, if you ask a woman how valuable she is, she's going to say she's the most precious thing. She's this, I am wife material, I am this, but the man is the one who's going to decide if you are that, not you.
And that's what I keep trying to say. That it's like they're saying pay attention to what the this particular show is trying to say, let women talk, or listen to women or something to that regard. But you would need to listen to, like, I liken it to an institution, a college, right? So the men are the college and the women are the people that's trying to get into college. And so you're asking for this college, what in your case, y'all would say high value man would be a Ivy League school. You're asking the Ivy League school to change their ways and how they view you, when in fact, you're supposed to get yourself right to be eligible to get into said Ivy League school. And that's why I'm trying to tell you that if women would change their disposition and say, you know what, I'm going to work on being a wife, right? And read up on what it looks like to be a wife, go around women that are wives and learn from them. You can also learn from husbands that have been married a long time or have been married in a good marriage as well. So it's a matter of, are you a wife? Because if you are a wife, men are going to find you. If you close your legs, these men that y'all talk about, they cannot have sex. They won't think, this 20% won't think there are more of you out there, because you all have come together and said, listen, we are walking together as wives and we rocking as wives, and we ain't doing nothing that a wife would do. And men don't have a choice to change, considering there are no fathers currently in the home as they should. So that is why women have to change first, because y'all fought for this equality. Now you have the power and the leverage in your own hands, and see what you have done with it. You have made it to where we are now, which is the dating pool is trash, and they're not even looking to be married until when? Till they get to be 40.
Yeah.
That is what I'm saying.
I would argue that
In this game, you gotta have that dog in you. Made